We don't always know how our votes are being counted, and it's not unreasonable to have some questions about our election security, because a Senate report found that some of our voting equipment is aging and vulnerable to exploitation by a committed adversary. The 2000 election came down to just over 1,000 votes in Florida, which triggered a recount, which turned out to be an absolute nightmare, because unfortunately, many key Florida precincts used punch card ballots. And a major issue with punch card ballots was the fact that on some of them, little bits of paper or chads might not have punched all the way through. So America became understandably nervous about punch card ballots. And in 2002, Congress passed the Help America Vote Act, offering states $3.9 billion to help administer federal elections and buy new voting equipment, which sounds great. But the then chair of the Election Assistance Commission, which distributed funding for the new machines, realized that there was a problem immediately. States rushed to buy electronic voting machines before they were ready to be bought. And there were already some red flags. One machine in Iowa had 300 ballots fed into it and somehow produced 4 million votes. And to meet the demand, at least one company outsourced production of the machines. And as reporters later found, quality controls were sometimes close to non-existent. They tested the machine by shaking it. A shocking number of machines bought back then are still in use. And aging machines can be a real problem. Some counties have found that the glue holding the touchscreen can degrade, meaning that over the years, the screen can slip out of place and register votes incorrectly. And the danger isn't just machines going wrong by accident. There is also the threat of someone gaining control of them for their own ends, because voting machines are technically computers, and computers, of course, are hackable. And it can be far easier to control a machine than you might expect. Hackers find vulnerabilities in voting machines all the time, and we've not always been great at responding. A Finnish man named Harri Hursti once found one of the most severe security flaws ever discovered in a voting system, and he alerted the company who made the machine. They created a patch to fix the vulnerability, which is good. Unfortunately, while they put the patch out in 2006, we know the state of Georgia just never installed it, because a recent court case found their machines had not been updated since at least 2005. You don't have to actually have hands-on contact with a voting machine to hack it. If it's connected to the internet, you can get into it from anywhere. Some machines that officials insist don't connect to the internet actually do connect to the internet, and even some machines that don't connect directly to the internet are programmed with cards that have themselves been programmed on computers that connect to the internet. There is actually a consensus on what we should do here. Specifically, that after each election, we do what's called a risk-limiting audit. That's where we take a small percentage of the paper ballots at random and make sure that they match what the machines recorded. 16 million Americans, spread out across all these states, are set to be voting on machines that pretty much everyone agrees are deeply, deeply flawed. And if they malfunction, there could be no way of knowing, which is absolutely terrifying. Because what we have to do here is obvious. We must fix this.